Brad turned over, he's ready to go. Turn over our calendar piece. Let's read today's date together. Today is Thursday, April 22nd, 2010. And let's see, Thursday today we have art class. And something special is going to happen during art class. We have, it's called Mobile Science. And do you remember last year in the kindergarten where you got to see some animals and you get to touch the animals and somebody comes and talks to you about that? Well, that's going to happen today. And it's going to happen during our art class time. So we're going to go. Was it sharks last year?
Yeah, they had small sharks and electric eels.
Oh, you know what? You were right. I do remember that. So I'm not sure what kind of animals they're going to have today, so it's going to be a surprise for all of us. But that's happening this afternoon. So it'll be during our art time. Okay.
Will we get to see the animals?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You sometimes get to even touch them, right? So
Are they real? I forgot.
yes, these are all real animals. So that'll be happening this afternoon. But it'll be, I don't even know what kind of animals are coming, so it'll be a surprise for all of us.
I think it was
There's a bunch of difference. And let's go back to our calendar and let's read our sentences. Yesterday was Wednesday. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow will be Friday. And today is even. It's an even number, 22, even number. Tomorrow is library day, so as a reminder, some of you already brought back your library books. Bless you. Bless you. And we put them in the box. Tomorrow's library day. Remind you about that. All righty, Brad, I'm going to give you the straw. You'll put that in for 10. I'm going to add a tally. And I'm going to put it on an angle there because we're going by fives. And then I'm going to add a number to our number line. And figure out which shape we're going to put up for today. 135. And we're going to need a pentagon today. And it looks like that's it. Just a pentagon today. So we'll get a pentagon shape out. How many sides does a pentagon have? Who remembers if I have a shape in here? Up here is one. You remember, Sophia?
4.
4? Look at it again.
5.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pentagon. What shape has 4 sides?
That's a square.
That's a square, right?
What about a regular octagon? Octagon.
What, 6 sides?
Octagon has 6
Well, I have 6 sides. Our hexagon. Octagon has 8 sides, so this would be our hexagon. All right. What do you do next, Brad?
Honey.
Let's talk about our STAR standards, and then we'll work on our money. STARS, do your best. Treat people kindly. Act responsibly. Respect yourself and others. And I'm always on the lookout for STAR students. STAR students and students of the month, right? Okay. So our date and change. Today's the 22nd. So 22. How can we make 22 cents? Brad, take down the coins that we have up there. And to make 22 cents, who's got an idea for us? Valerie, what are you thinking? 2 dimes and 2 pennies. Let's see if that's going to work. So dimes have a value of 10. So 2 of them, 10 and 10, 20. Okay, go ahead and put that in. And then you said 2 pennies. So 20, let's count on 21, 22. She did it. Were you thinking the same thing?
Yeah, but then I got another one.
You got another one. Okay. It's got another way to make 22 cents. We'll go with Emma. What do you think?
5, 10, 15,
5,
20,
10, 15,
10,
20.
2 pennies.
Okay, so what coins have a value of 5? You were counting by 5. She's what? 5, 10, 15, 20. And then 2 pennies. So what coins have a value of 5? You're right. Nickels, right. Nickels. 5, 10, 15, 20. Give that to you. And then you said 2 pennies. So count on 21, 22. You did it. Is that what you were thinking, Gavin? With the nickels? You were thinking that too?
What is those big ones called?
What are those big ones called?
The really big ones?
What big ones are you talking about, Tyler?
The big coin
The
ones.
quarter?
With the 5 things.
What are they called?
The half dollar?
Alyssa?
A quarter.
A quarter. What's the value of a quarter?
Oh, 25.
25. Now, how did you know that, Tyler? Did you look at our anchor chart?
Yeah, I didn't know what that was called because I didn't see that.
So you knew the value, but you didn't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
So you can always look at that anchor chart, couldn't you?
A quarter.
Thank you, Brad, for your help. We did everything for the calendar. Our shared reading today, boys and girls, I don't suppose. And today our focus is our fluency. What does that mean, our fluency? What are we working on with our fluency, Tegan?
I'm reading still.
Our reading with our fluency? We're working on our stamina. That's part of Reader's Workshop. But our reading smoothly, right. She knew the answer, right. It's reading smoothly. Gavin, are you sitting in a good place where you can be a good listener? That's a good spot for you? Okay. No, I think Tegan, she knew it. Just had to talk it out. Sometimes we have to talk it out. You have to think about it, right. So reading fluency. Let's read I Don't Suppose together, and let's work on our fluency. Okay? I don't suppose. I don't suppose a lobster knows the proper way to blow his nose. Or else perhaps beneath the seas they have no need to sniff and sneeze. Did you notice these end marks right here? What's going to happen when we come to that comma, Lauren? What are we going to do with our voices when we come to that comma? We're going to pause. That's right. What are we going to do with our voices when we come to the period, Ryan?
Stop.
We're going to stop. Right. And so when we read this shared reading together, we need to pay attention. A careful reader pays attention to those end marks there and this punctuation so that our voices change a little. Yesterday, we highlighted some parts of our shared reading. What was special about these words that we highlighted in orange? What was special about those words? Sophia?
They're both nose and nose. They're kind of the same, but they're not spelled the same way.
That's right.
Do you know where my stuff is, or can you blow your nose?
Exactly. So they sound the same to our ears, but they're spelled differently and they mean something completely different.
They need the nose on your face.
That's right. This one here is the nose on your face, and this is the kind of nose with your brain, what you know. I told you what kind of words those are. Do you remember what kind of words those are?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you remember? What kind of words are those? Do you remember from yesterday, Max? Oh, they're homophones. That's right. How many of you remember that word from yesterday now that Max said it? Yeah, homophones. They're words that sound the same to your ears, but are they spelled the same? And do they mean the same thing? No. We also highlighted with red here, we underlined, we didn't highlight, we underlined this ER. What is special about that? What is special about that? Elizabeth? Bossier, that's right, Bossier, right there. And then we highlighted SN in pink. What is special about that? Tegan? S and N together. They're consonants. S and N, they're consonants. And they're together. What sound do they make? Sn. Right. Like in the word sniff, And sneeze or snake. Very good. It's another example. And then we also highlighted our vowel teams here. E and A together make the long E sound. And it does it here, here, and here. And then we have, what are those? Contractions. What is special about contractions, Abigail? Do you remember about contractions? Don't. Yeah, 2 words are squeezing together. Do not. We take some letters out, don't we? And we use an apostrophe there. So let's read it now and let's practice our fluency. I don't suppose. I don't suppose a lobster knows the proper way to blow his nose, or else perhaps beneath the seas they have no need to sniff and sneeze. Nice job with your voices. I noticed how you were pausing and then stopping at the periods there. Great job. Plus, there's a lot of word wall words, isn't there?
I see some TH
There's
brothers.
a lot. And so we talked about, yeah, there are some TH brothers there. Great job. Today's shared reading. We are going to share our journals, and I believe it is... Is it yellow group? Okay, yellow group on one, stand. Yellow group will share your journals right now. Yes, Tyler. 2. Yellow group, come on up to the front. You're going to share your journals. Tegan, where's the rest of our yellow group? Here they come. Madeline.
Sophia.
Is Sophia your yellow group?
Yeah.
Here she comes. Okay.
Find her face.
She'll find it. So listen. Okay, Tegan, we'll start with you. Talk to me, not just me, talk to everybody.
I went to a soccer game and it was cold outside.
Were you playing soccer or watching?
I was playing.
Playing soccer. It gets really cold when the sun goes down in the evening,
No,
doesn't it?
It was that snow. It was snowing a little bit.
Yesterday, or would this happen another time?
Spring.
Let her finish.
I think it was on Saturday.
Oh, it was that cold. So you're writing about that time it was really cold. So did you win? Did your team win?
It was 5-5.
5-5. Were you at that team too?
We're on the same team. And Tyler. Joshua lost and the other team was on the other team.
Well, I'm glad. Well, so if it's 5-5, isn't that a tie? Oh, so you ended the game with a tie. Thank you for sharing, Tegan. Madeline,
I went to Burger King.
you went to Burger King. Now, why did you write about that? Why is it special for you?
Because I didn't remember anything else.
You didn't remember anything else, and that was special yesterday with you and your mom? You got SpongeBob watched?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's kind of special, right?
I got one.
Hey, Alyssa's turn.
When my sister curled my hair today.
Oh, it does look a little curly. Did Kayla do it?
It's because my hair doesn't curl that good because it's too straight.
Okay, so she curled it with a curling iron. It looks very nice today. It's nice to have a big sister that you can do that with. Excellent. And Sophia?
I went to my stepmom's Marcy's and we got to see the new Alvin and Chipmunks.
Oh, I like the part where they dance to that song, all the single ladies, and it's the little Chipettes. Aren't they the Chipettes?
Yeah. Alvin
I
and
think that is
Chipmunks
so cute. So did you enjoy the movie?
Yeah.
That's fun.
I saw it twice.
Did you see it twice? Thank you, Yellow Group, for sharing your journals with us. You can
Sophia,
have a
was
seat.
it Alvin and
We're going to get ready for Reader's Workshop. I'm going to ask that you get a drink, go to the bathroom, be ready to start when our song is over.
Reader's Workshop.
And you'll need to be with your partner when you come over. Kayla's not here, Mariah, so you may sit where you would like, okay? Get a drink, go to the bathroom before we start. Great. Here. Boys and girls, we're going to continue our study, our character study, and we're going to look more closely today at our characters that we read in our books. Let's look at our anchor chart that we made. We know that a character can be a person or an animal. Person could be one of the stories we've read, like Fancy Nancy. We've read stories about the Recess Queen.
Chrysanthemum.
Well, chrysanthemum would be an animal, but you're right, that is one of the characters we read about. So it could be a person or an animal, and the story is centered around the character. The story is centered around the character. It's mostly about the character, right. And for today, it is important as a reader that we understand our character by studying them closely through words and their actions in their story. So we're going to look at that. I'm going to show you with one of our books that we're working on together. I'm going to model for you. Remember Arthur's Tooth? Remember this story I read to you the other day? And I want us to look at this first page. I want you just to watch me what I'm doing on this page right here. Here is Arthur, and he's in his class. And I am thinking that Arthur is feeling sad because his shoulders are slumped over. He has his hands covering his eyes like this. It's like he doesn't want to even see it. And it says here that Arthur was wiggling his tooth, and then he heard a loud scream. Francine jumped up and screams, "My tooth fell out!" And Arthur, everybody except for Arthur, got excited. He just got quiet and covered his eyes. He didn't want to hear it. So I can tell that Arthur is feeling sad right here. I studied the picture and I looked at the words to help me figure that out. I'm going to turn to another page of the story, and I'm going to ask you just to look at this picture here. Just study the picture. Arthur, just study it. Don't say it, just study it. It says Arthur just smiled. I'm going to ask you to turn and talk with your partner and see if you and your partner can talk about Arthur and how's he feeling. Did you turn and talk to your partner about that?
He's feeling happy. He's surprise. He just have to
Sorry. Now, how did you figure that out?
He was kind of sad because he didn't let them when Francine hit him on accident. He was happy because his teeth came out.
Okay, so the pictures were helping you and the words. And you felt happy too.
I did too.
Turn and face me as you finish your last sentence. It is important as a reader that we understand our characters by studying them closely. And I demonstrated for you, and then I wanted you to practice doing it with your partner. And I was walking around and I was hearing some very interesting things. I'm going to tell you what I heard some of you saying. I heard Elizabeth and Brad talking about how Arthur felt on this last page and said, well, Brad says, Arthur felt good. And Elizabeth, you want to tell everybody what?
Arthur felt happy because that was his first time that he lost a tooth, and he kind of felt good because he was so happy that he wanted to get money or something from the tooth.
Baby. So we looked at the pictures here. We see he's got a smile on his face, and it says Arthur just smiled. And what's he holding in his hand? A tooth right there. So you could tell by the pictures and the words that Arthur was feeling. Brad said good, and then Elizabeth said happy. Then I walked over there, and Tegan and Madeline, Valerie, and Colin, you were talking about this too. Tegan, would you share what you shared with me when I walked over there?
I said he was feeling happy and sad because when Francine lost her tooth, he was sad because he didn't. But then at the end, when Francine hit him on accident, he felt happy because his tooth came out.
Exactly. Here, you see Arthur, he's slumped over. I think Arthur's feeling sad because his hands are covering his eyes, he's slumped over. But then, and even the words had said that. You know, everyone's raising their hands, they're excited, but Arthur didn't. He just stayed right there. And then on this last page, Arthur's got a smile. He's holding that lost tooth in his hand. His friends got their hands up there cheering, and it says, Arthur just smiled. So we know Arthur's feeling happy now. As a reader, you can use the pictures and the words to explain how a character is feeling. And every day when you're reading, I want you to do those things. That's what good readers do. I'm going to have you start read to self time, practicing looking at the pictures and the words, and see if you can figure out how your characters are feeling in your books. We'll do a little bit of read to ourselves, and then we'll move to our partner reading. Okay? One, stand.
First one.
2.
It's not a race. On the carpet.
We're going to sit right there, Yellow. Book box to the side there. Do you remember this book, Nuffle Bunny? Do you remember that one? Nuffle Bunny. I have some pictures that I want us to study closely together and see if you can kind of help me, okay? Here we have, and I remember her name, remember Trixie? How does Trixie feel?
Sad because she remembers that she left her Nuffle Bunny at the washroom.
Okay.
She was happy.
And how did you figure that out? How did you figure out she's feeling sad?
Because her eyes are like wide open and she remembers.
Sophia, you want to say something?
On this page he's happy, and on this page he's like really sad,
Maybe
and
a
she's
little
like
worried,
yeah,
sad and
it's
worried.
her dad didn't know.
So let's take a look over here at this other picture. Here we have Mom and Dad and Trixie. Madeline, let's get Madeline in. Madeline, what do you say in this picture?
What?
What do you think the characters are feeling? What do you think Mom is feeling? Mom and Dad. Let's talk about just Mom and Dad. What do you think Mom and Dad are feeling?
They need to hurry up so the bunny doesn't break or something.
Yeah, the whole family ran down the block, so they're running, and you can see there's that worried look on Trixie that Sophia talked about. So the words and the pictures are helping us to figure out how Mom and Dad and Trixie are feeling.
He's like, what are we doing?
Oh, this person here. Look who's on there. Don't let the pigeon drive the bus. You guys notice that? Now, right here we have, Trixie's looking, look at Dad.
Sad.
Yeah, he's looking in all the washers, and she almost looks like she's going to cry, doesn't it?
It's in the one where they put their clothes.
But Nuffle Bunny was nowhere to be found. Oh.
She probably left it on top.
And Dad, he's rolling up his sleeves. So Trixie's daddy decided to look harder. He's rolling up his sleeves. He's like, I'm going to try harder to find Nuffle Bunny. And does he find Nuffle Bunny?
Yeah.
Look at Trixie here.
Really happy.
Really happy, isn't she? So we can use the words and the pictures to help us understand how a character is feeling in our stories. And I'd like you to practice that today when you're reading to yourself and then with your partner.
And
Do you want to say something?
Yeah, and I also noticed that he started to talk because he said "knuckle bunny."
That's right.
That was her first word.
This was her first words because through the story
She was so happy because she found knuckle bunny.
That's right. Very good. So are we ready to do some work with ourselves, with our books right now, and using the pictures and the words to help us understand how the character's feeling? Great job, girls. Could I see Ryan and Lauren, Alec, and Sarah? Come on over.
I did this book in here.
Come on over.
My shop. I'm going to sit right here.
Just move your book boxes to the side. I want to talk to you about a book that we read together. Do you remember The Recess Queen?
Jesus Queen.
You remember her? Her name was Mean Jean, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Her name was Mean Jean. Well, I'm going to show you some pictures, and I want to see if we can figure out how the characters are feeling. And we're going to use the pictures, and we're going to use the words to help us. Okay? Let's see the first part. Here we have Mean Jean. How's she feeling, Ryan? What are you thinking? Mad? What are you thinking, Alex?
So mad that she
So
got
mad.
somebody off the teeter-totter.
Look at it. She's holding one of the kids. And the other kids had their hands up in the air. If kids ever crossed her, she pushed them and smushed them. That doesn't sound like she's very nice, does it? You can see her face there. She looks kind of angry. Oh, flipped right
I
off.
already know how she does all this.
Yeah.
She wants to go first time everything.
This is Mean Jean. And then there's a new kid comes to school. Her name was Katie Sue. And what do you think about Katie Sue, Lauren?
That she is really, she doesn't know that she could be shy.
She looks a little shy, scared maybe. Yeah, look at Mean Jean thinking about, I don't know. She's a new kid at school.
Well, she teaches her a
You want to say something, Sarah?
Well, she looks a little, she's gonna put the girl who's,
The new girl?
she's gonna ask if she wants to jump rope with her.
Oh, so you kind of know what's going to happen?
I already know. Wait.
Well, let's go ahead.
I think she's gonna be friends with her.
You think they might become friends?
I already know.
Now, it says a new kid came to school, Katie Sue, a teeny kid, a tiny kid, a kid you might scare with a jump and a boo. So the words are telling us something about Katie, that she's kind of quiet and shy, and we can see that in the picture too. So let's see what's happening here. How are these characters feeling now?
Mad.
Mad? Why'd you say mad? Why?
Because she has steam coming out of her.
Steam coming out of her ears. Let's look at the words. Say what? She growled. Say who? She howled. Say you? She snarled and grabbed. So the words are telling us that she's acting kind of mean, isn't she? And she's angry, and the pictures are telling us that too.
Well, she's grabbing her because she is really mad. Yes.
Here. Now what's happening? Here's Katie Sue, big smiling, and Mean Jean has a big smile on her face.
Kid taught her a lesson.
So Katie Sue taught her a lesson. Let's look at what the words say. Well, now when recess rolls around, the playground's one great place. And we can see that in the words, it's telling us it's a great place, and then in the pictures. So a good reader can use, and a careful reader can use the pictures and the words to understand how the characters are feeling. And then today, when you're reading from your book box, I want you to practice that with your books. Okay? Great job. Thank you. Absent yesterday, so listen to you. More spaghetti, I say.
began to sing a lullaby and flew high over the hill. He came down. And then we can play. Spaghetti is good. I love it, I love it, I love it. I do. I need more spaghetti. I can play with you.
Can I stop you right there? Now tell me how this character is feeling.
Well,
Monkey.
Yeah, he was feeling sad and now he's really happy.
How's he feeling right here on this page?
Happy.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Well, it's because he's throwing the spaghetti and I see him smiling.
I see him smiling. And what do the words say?
I love spaghetti.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. 3 times he said that.
Mm-hmm.
So the words are helping us and the pictures are helping us to know how the character is feeling. Great job. Go ahead.
But now I can play. I can play with you, Freddy. Not now, can't you see? I am eating spaghetti.
Excellent job. Do you have another book in there you could read with me? Another book you've been working on? Oh, how about that one? This we read yesterday for our guided reading.
Mr. Bitter's Butter. Mr. Bitter had a lot of his best baked bread.
Does that sound right? Does that look right? Mr.
No.
Bitter. Oh, Mr. Bitter had a
Lot
O and A together. O loaf. Mr. Bitter.
of his best baked bread, but he had no butter.
How's he feeling right here?
He's like, oh no, I have to go to.
Yeah, he's got his hands on his head, like,
He's
oh no, worried.
Yeah, that is
That,
That
is what?
Well, bread will not be warm anymore.
Yeah, and it won't taste. He wants it to taste really good with the butter on there.
Oh, brother.
No.
I mean,
Oh,
Oh, father.
Yeah, now there's an exclamation point there.
Oh, father, said Mr. Bitter. I'll have to go to the shopping mall.
Yeah, see, when there's an exclamation point there, you'd read it, oh, bother, said Mr. Butter. Good.
His name is weird.
It's kind of a weird name, Mr. Bitter. It's just different.
I'm sorry, said the woman at the butter.
Let's look for chunks. So we have B-E-T.
Better by market. There's not a bit of butter in the store.
Nice job.
Out of butter, said Mr. Bitter. What a blow.
Blow, good.
Blow with a breath. And
Bother. You know, I want to. You
It's
did a nice.
It's a tongue twister.
Is it? But I noticed something you did here. Out of butter, said Mr. Bitter. I like how your voice changed a little bit there because there's a question mark. Out of butter, said Mr. Bitter. What a blow! What a bother! Nice job.
Mr. Bitter went
Let's look for chunks.
marching.
Well, what's that chunk right there? Mutter.
Through the shopping mall.
You got this word. Excellent job, Alyssa. Through the shopping mall. Does
anybody have some butter? I want butter for my best baked bread.
nice.
No butter, said the man at the shoe shop. Shirt.
That's okay. Shine
Shine shoe.
Now, when there's when there's a Y at the end of a word, It can sometimes sound like an E, and sometimes it sounds like an I. So this is, sorry, shiny. Shiny. Shoe.
Shoe shop.
That's a tongue twister.
I have big brown boots and some blue shiny suede shoes. No
Let's stop
butter.
her. There's a lot of tongue twisters there.
Yeah.
Shiny shoe shop, big brown boots, blue suede shoes. That's a lot of tongue twisters, but you did a fabulous job.
No butter, said the woman at the Jolly.
Yes, Jolly.
Jolly joke store, but
That's right.
would you like to buy a rubber chicken?
I don't think so. Do you think so? No.
No, I wouldn't.
Now let's talk about the character. How is Mr. Bitter feeling?
Sad.
Why is he sad?
Sad?
You can tell by his eyes.
Because he can't find any butter, and now he's getting mad on this side.
He's getting mad over there. Well, let's look at the. Oh, why don't you read that? Go ahead. There's that word again. Bother.
Bother.
Here we.
Bother.
What's that word?
Bellowed.
Bellowed.
Bother bellowed, Mr. Bitter. I want butter. I need butter. I must have butter for my best baked bread.
Let's stop there for a moment. How come these words are bold print like
Well,
that?
since he's yelling.
He's yelling. So, and what about the picture? What's the picture telling us about Mr. Bitter?
That he's angry.
He's angry. So the pictures are showing us that he's angry, and then the words are telling us, and they're also in bold print. So we're using the picture and the words to help us know how our character is feeling. He's angry right here. I would agree.
And he's got a big nose.
He does have a big nose. Yeah.
Then out came Mrs.
Melody
from the music
shop. That's you.
Did you say butter? Yum, yellow butter. I have some butter, but I don't have bread. Tongue twisting my
It's twisting your tongue. What?
Come.
What could be better? Cried
The
happy
Mr.
Bitter.
Bitter. You have the butter and I have the bread.
Well, there we go. He has some bread, she has some butter.
So, Mrs. Melody and Mr. Butter ate that butter on the best baked bread.
Let's talk about what's happening here in this picture. Does he look angry anymore?
Nope, he looks happy.
He does look happy, yes. It says here, so Ms. Melody and Mr. Bitter ate the butter on the best baked bread. So the words are even telling us what's happening.
Then Mrs. Melody played on her
It's going to have long a, short a, brass. This is a. Do you know what kind of instrument that is? Use a picture clue. Use when you're not a trumpet.
Oh.
Trombone.
Well,
Just as ba ba.
ba 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 ba.
So that's the sound that the instrument's making.
And wishing him was
Long I.
while
Yeah.
she played.
Can I stop you for a minute? Can I stop you for? I like what you did with that word. I heard you. You were looking for chunks. You saw the H brother there. I told you it was a long I, and you blended it together. You're using your tools from your toolbox. Excellent. And while she played,
Mr. Bitter danced the bread and butter
boogie.
Bam, 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 bam.
Well, is there M in there? Just ba,
Ba, ba, ba, ba.
B, ba,
Bee, ba. Ba, 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 ba. Bee, ba, bee, ba.
I've never heard of a bread and butter boogie.
No.
How are the characters feeling now in this?
Happy.
And why did you say that?
Well, because she was probably feeling sad that she didn't have bread, and he was feeling sad that he didn't have butter.
But then they were able to share it. And so the words and the pictures were able to help us know how those characters felt. Excellent job, Alyssa. Thanks for reading with me today.
Sad because he didn't know what it was like out of the zoo. But the keeper said you can go because he's been a good seal lately.
Okay, he's been a good... So have you been using the pictures and the words to help you understand how your character's feeling?
Yes.
Great job. Can I listen a little bit while you're reading?
Up and down went the ball, from one side to the other. At last, the teacher blew her whistle. Who wins? Said the children. It is even, said the teacher. Everybody was happy.
Now, how did you figure out that word? Tell me what you did. What tool did you use to figure out that
I
word?
looked at the picture,
Okay.
and in my mind I sounded out the word.
So you looked at the picture and you sounded out the word by looking at the letters. That's great how you're using those tools in your toolbox, Emma. I'm proud of you. I'm going to listen a little bit more, okay?
A bell rang. School was over. Will you be here tomorrow? Said the children. No, said Sammy. School is fun, but I belong in the zoo. I just wanted to know what it is like outside. Now I have to go back. Goodbye, Sammy, said the children. We will come to see you. Good, said Sammy.
Can you tell me how Sammy's feeling?
He's feeling happy.
He's happy. And how did you figure that out?
Because I looked at the pictures and I saw him smiling.
So using the pictures and then the words, you can use the picture and the words to help you. Great job, Emma. Excellent. Love it.
Sammy was
It was feeding time at the zoo. All the animals were getting their food.
Getting lots of food, lots of shipments of food coming in.
The lions ate their meat. The elephants ate their hay. The monkeys ate their bananas. The bears ate their honey. Soon the basket was empty. That is all there is, said Mr. Johnston. There is no more. There, thank you for the fish, said the seals. They were good. The seals were happy.
So how are the seals? It tells us how they're feeling, doesn't it? The seals were happy, and then do the pictures tell us too? Yeah. Okay.
But one little seal was not happy. He sat by himself. He looked sad. What is wrong, Sammy? said Mr. Johnston. I want to know what it is like outside the zoo, said the little seal. I want to go out and look around.
Now let's stop right there. Do you think that's a good idea? For the
No,
little seal to do that? Why
no,
not?
because he goes to school.
Oh, so you know that he's going to end up going to school. But we can see the pictures
right
here.
there.
Oh, you looked at the pictures here are telling us that he's sad, and it also says that in the words. So we can use the picture and the words to understand how the characters are feeling. Alec, I'm really proud of your reading, how you are trying so hard to read your words and use your tools in your toolbox. Very proud of you. Keep up the great work. Excellent. Boys and girls, you can get with your partners right now and work on looking at the characters to see how the characters are feeling. Find a spot with your partner.
Just about the picture. No, not the little girls. Stanley Flanagan.
Mariah, join your partners right here. Okay, come on over. Take a trio.
Okay.
Guys, sit with the trio.
My brother has a plan. My brother has a plan.
Do you have a book in there that you've been working on with the character that we could talk about together as a group? We'll let Mariah start, and then that's a good one, Alyssa, because Alyssa read that one to me. The Mess. Let's look at this one right here. Have you read this story before? It's just brand new. So what can you tell us about the character and how the character's feeling? Let's open to the beginning of the story.
At the beginning, he's feeling sad because when his dad came in his room, he felt sad because his dad says he can't go outside.
Did you see this, girl? So Dad comes into this room and he said he cannot go outside and play. Why? What do you think's wrong with his bedroom?
Well, he made a mess because I think he was looking for a penny in his coat.
Yeah, do you think he's going to have to clean up his room? I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. Used to have that problem, or used to have this book?
I used to have that.
Oh.
And I have the problem.
Okay.
And he looks outside his window, and then he says that I can't play with my friends.
Oh, so he's feeling. Oh, let's take a look. Sarah, close your book for a moment. Mariah, just on this page here, the little boy is feeling sad because he can't go outside to play, and he sees his friends out there, and he's like, I want to be outside playing with my friends.
And then I was gonna be clean.
Do you think he?
And then he's gonna say, I can't slide down.
So he's going to decide. I want to clean my room so I can play with my friends. So we can use the pictures and the words to help us know how the character's feeling. Now Mariah's partners are here today, so I'm gonna let her join this trio with you girls. Okay?
I think when her partner is not here, she can come with us.
Okay, that would be really nice.
I'm not doing that today. You want to read more spaghetti, I think? Well, you can try it for level 12. Listen. No, let's read all together. I don't have that. Yeah, mine's more harder to read. Max.
So who picked out the book?
I did.
You picked out the book, or you both pointed to yourselves? Did you pick it out too, or it was Hannah's? So who's reading first?
Max.
Max. Okay.
That tells you about.
There's lots of, what do we call these? Remember the captions? It's labeled. Remember our nonfiction? Lots of labels. This page has a lot of labels and captions. It's like pointing to it and then telling us about it. I remember that from our nonfiction. Do you remember that when we studied nonfiction books? Did you want to read some of it, Max? Who wants to read one?
Look how big the shark tooth is.
That's how big it says. Wow, a great white shark's tooth can be this big? That's big.
Yeah. There are more than 500 kinds of sharks. All sharks have
Let's figure this word out. It's for chunks. Dentacles. Dentacles.
fins and at least 5 gills. Stills on each side of their body, but not all sharks are the same.
Now, we need to find out what that word means, dentacles. So how, in a nonfiction book, how would we figure out what one of those tricky words means? Where do you think we could look, see if there's a glossary? Does this book, is there?
I think.
Here's, okay, words to know. That's what a glossary is, words to know. And denticles. There it is. The sharp, tooth-like scales covering a shark's body. Now let's turn back to the page we were reading. Now we can understand what all sharks have denticles. Now we know what that means. So we can always turn back to the glossary. And how did you know where the glossary was? I saw you turn to the back of the book.
There's a table of contents, and there's normally, and probably all nonfiction books I've seen has a glossary at the end.
Has had it at the end. It usually is found at the end. You're right. Very good. Okay. Sorry, Max, we lost your page. Okay. Very good. Let's turn now. Tana's turn? Okay.
Many sharks swim alone, not these. They swim in a school or a group. Can you guess what they're called? Hammerheads. The shark has a flat body and spots. It lives on the ocean floor. That's why it's called a carpet shark. It can use its fins to walk. The shark is small, but it can gulp down a lot of water. When it swells up, that's why it's called a swell shark.
Well, that's a good name for it. It swells up, it gulps down a lot of water. You know what swell means? To get bigger. And so that's why it's called a swell shark. That's a pretty good name for it. I like how you two are taking turns reading and putting the reading together. Great job. Excellent. Now we're working on character study right now, and we're trying to figure out how our characters feel and using the pictures and the words. Have you been practicing that today?
Yeah, this one,
Called Hello First Grade.
and they feel sad because their bunny is missing.
Oh, is it a class pet? And they feel sad. Now, how did you figure that out?
Because I was looking at the pictures and reading the words.
And so the pictures and the words can help us to figure out how the character's feeling. Great job. Do you have enough room over there, Max? You're sharing that chair together?
Yeah.
Great job. Excellent. I love reading with you guys. Oh, is this your character book? Oh, why don't you tell us about your character, how they're feeling?
Well, in the beginning, Tim is like feeling bad that he
Look at his eyes, yeah.
but his sister did, and then in the end, he looks happy because he could get a wobbly tooth.
Did he lose the tooth at the end? Oh, it just came wobbly?
Well, no, he got that going, and they're playing a game, and then he wants to get an apple so he can make his tooth wobbly.
Oh, if he bite into the apple, make his tooth wobbly. So the pictures and the words can help you to figure out how your character's feeling. Nice job. Love reading with you guys. Thank you.
And I choose what?
Love that book, don't you?
He's scared in the beginning, and then the end he changes. I'm gonna go get mine with my dad.
Oh, okay, sure. So what? You are working on Winston there? Now, how does Winston feel in this story?
Sad, and then the end he changes, happy because he sees a school bus that the girls, they're coming home.
Okay.
And then he jumps up and down and he barks because I see his mouth is open.
Okay, so you're using the pictures, and then are you using the words to help you understand how the characters are feeling? Both of those?
And then I see
Why don't you turn to your favorite part and show me your favorite part?
this one's
This is your favorite part when he's afraid of the
the
bug?
bug, the cat, the bird.
Could you read this to me? Your favorite part?
He was scared of cats. He was scared of birds. He was even scared of bugs. When he saw them, he would shake. We'd have to give him hugs.
Oh, because he was so scared. So if he's so scared and he's shaking, that's telling us how the character's feeling, Winston the dog. And we can also see in the picture there too.
Yeah, you see the motion lines.
Now Valerie, you want to show me something?
It's also on the front, the cover too.
It is, the motion lines.
I love school.
Oh, this is what we did yesterday, describing what a character looks like. And so you drew a quick sketch of your character from the book. And what book was it? I Love School? Can you show me that book you have? You like that one? I know. You like the book about dogs. Well, maybe we can arrange you get to take that home one time. So now you were working on describing what your character feels like, okay? And just show us a page that you were working on. Oh, how does he feel right there?
Sad.
He looks sad to me, and when I read the words, now I'm totally lost. And you can see there's nobody in this. It looks like a gym. There's no one in the gym. He's all by himself. I would agree, and I would agree with you that he's probably feeling sad, maybe a little, maybe scared, maybe feeling a little scared. So we can use the pictures to help us and the words to figure out how our characters are feeling.
Yeah.
That's what careful readers do. You're a very careful
And then
reader.
at the end, he kind of changes.
Do you have that book too?
Yeah.
You guys like books about dogs, don't you?
I
This seems to be your favorites.
Dogs
Dog
are my
stories?
favorite. My grandma has a dog. My babysitter has a dog. My uncle has a dog.
So you like to read books about dogs?
My aunt has 2 dogs. I have a dog. And my grandma has a dog.
Wow, that's just great.
I just love
You
dogs.
love books about dogs. That's great.
Yeah.
I love how you're being such careful readers and you're really taking the time to look at the characters and the pictures and read the words. Excellent job.
I love dogs.
I love reading with you. Thank you for letting me read with you.
My grandma's dog is Maggie.
Maggie,
Brad's
that's the dog's.
sister.
Oh, Brett's sister's name.
Yeah,
Maggie.
but it's a dog.
It's a dog. Yeah.
I just love it. What did you find? Now you push that over right under that. They're directing us. Yeah. He's scared. He's scared and then he changes.
Can I have your eyes this way? There's 2 spots over here, girls.
I have 2. No,
No, girls, no.
no.
Sit down. Oh, there's spots over there.
I got 2.
We don't want you on the side there.
I'm a super reader.
Right over there. Picture sitting on your bottom. Emma, just, you're fine right there, Emma. Sarah, scoot back a little bit so Mariah has one. All right, first graders. Readers, today we talked about how it's important to understand your character by studying them closely through the words and the pictures. And I was very impressed with what I saw, and I'd like some of you to share. What you did was pull some sticks and have a few of you share how you used the pictures and the pictures and the words to help you understand how your character feels. Colin.
What a dog.
Why don't you stand up? And so his book is What a Dog. And tell us how you use the pictures and the words today.
Whenever he sees something, he's scared. He's scared because he's shaking. And then in the end, when he sees the girls on the bus come home, he's happy.
Now, how does the author show Winston shaking? How does
Motion lines.
Like motion lines. When the author and the illustrator draws the picture, they draw those motion lines, so we know that Winston's shaking. Great, thank you.
Yeah, because you just can't draw things shaking.
Yeah. Alyssa,
I didn't bring the book by.
you know? Okay, stand up and tell us about it. Is it the spaghetti book?
Yeah.
Okay, turn around, face everybody. More spaghetti, I say. Some of you know that book about the monkey and the spaghetti. Okay. So how did the character feel, and how did you figure it out?
Well, the kid felt sad that his mom wouldn't play with him.
And then you used the pictures of the monkey and the words. There you go. Thank you. Madeline. Oh, what have we got there? Biscuit.
He sounds like he doesn't want to go in the bath.
Doesn't want to get a bath. And how did you figure that out? How does he feel that way? Let her finish talking.
Because that dog Puddles came and then he wanted to get out to play.
That's right. So the pictures are helping you, and then the words. Great job. So today and every day when you read, first graders, you can use the pictures and the words to study your characters closely. Thank you for sharing. Did a great job. We're going to get ready for our read aloud. So I'm going to put up some music. We're going to return our book, stretch a little, get a drink if you need to, and then be ready for our read aloud when our music's over.
Another number, a whistle. A whistle. And then are you blind people?
Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. I have a story I'd like to share with you that I have to tell you. I remember this book when I was, this is a old story. Harry the Dirty Dog.
There's two different kind of hair.
You're going to find out why there's two Harrys on the cover of this book. You think you know? You think you might have an idea? Let's just take a look at the cover here. It's called Harry the Dirty Dog. And Madeline, this makes me think of the Biscuit story. Your story about Biscuit wanting to take a bath.
And I also saw that book.
You've seen this book before. Here's Harry the Dirty Dog, and he has a scrub brush in his mouth. And there's the bathtub. So maybe he's getting ready to take a bath. Maybe his owner's getting ready to give him a bath. Uh-oh. But look what he's doing now. He's running away from the bathtub with the sponge. Maybe he doesn't want to take a bath.
And he's just taking it.
Maybe he's taking a sponge and running away. Harry was a white dog with black spots who liked everything except getting a bath. So one day when he heard the water running in the tub, he took the scrubbing brush and buried it in the backyard. Then he ran away from home. He really doesn't like to take a bath, does he? He doesn't like to take a bath. His owners are going to be sad. He's not there. Turn and talk to your partner. Where do you think he's running to?
He's gonna run to like with white spots. It's the opposite.
Readers, turn your eyes this way.
Because I watched play and it was ready.
Where could Harry be running to? Let's pull a stick and have that person share. Elizabeth, what did...
Maybe he's running to the store.
Maybe running to the store? I don't know. Let's find out. He played where they were fixing the street and got very dirty.
Right.
Oh, they're like fixing the potholes and probably a lot of dirt. Lots of machine. This says tar.
Oh.
Messy. Now remember, he's a white dog with black spots.
That was gonna be.
He played at the railroad and got even dirtier. All the black smoke. Oh, look at him up there. He's on the bridge here, and here comes the train, and poof, the black smoke. He played tag with other dogs and became dirtier still.
Where is he?
Here he is. Look how dirty he is. You can't even see his spots.
I thought that was right.
No, this is Harry right here. He has gotten really dirty.
I thought he was right front.
He slid down a coal chute and got the dirtiest of all. In fact, he changed from a white dog with black spots to a black dog from a white dog with black spots to a black dog with white spots. Just the opposite. Uh-oh. Look at him.
He looks like a clown.
His owners are going to recognize him.
He looks like a clown.
Although there were many other things to do, Harry began to wonder if his family thought that he had really run away. By now, I would think his family was missing him. So, Elizabeth, you thought he ran away to the store. He ran away to a lot of other places. Now he's thinking, wow, I wonder if my family really misses me. He felt tired and hungry, too. So without stopping on the way, he ran back home. Look at the sign, no dogs. So he's feeling tired and hungry. He decides to go home. When Harry got to his house, he crawled through the fence and sat looking at the back door. One of the family looked out and said, "There's a strange dog in the backyard. By the way, has anyone seen Harry?" How do you think Harry is feeling right now? We can use the pictures. Don't shout out. Just think right now. We can use the pictures here and then what the words are telling us. One of the family members says, "There's a strange dog in the backyard. By the way, has anyone seen Harry?" Sophia, what are you thinking?
Harry's right there, and I think Harry is really sad.
Why do you think he's feeling sad?
Because their owners don't think that's Harry.
They don't recognize him, right? They don't recognize him. He's tired, he's hungry, and his own family doesn't recognize him. Tegan, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that he feels left out because his family thinks he's a different dog, but they're probably gonna keep him and then wash him off, and then they're gonna think it's Harry.
What?
And they think it's the opposite of Harry.
Let's find out.
Harry had black spots and white skin.
Yeah, let's read and find out. I think your prediction might be right. When Harry heard this, when he heard the family members say that, he tried very hard to show them he was Harry. He started to do all his old clever tricks. He flip-flopped and he flop-flipped. He rolled over and played dead.
A little bit of
They're looking at him, and the owners might be thinking, well, it looks like Harry, but I don't know if that's really Harry. Do you think Harry is starting to feel a little excited now, thinking, oh, they're going to see me, they're going to know it's me? Oh, I don't know if it's going to work. What are you thinking, Lauren? Do you think it's going to work?
I think so.
You think so?
I think.
How do you think they're going to figure out? With thumbs up, thumbs yes?
Yay!
No? Let's read. He danced and he sang. A dancing and singing dog. He did these tricks over and over again, but everyone shook his head and said, "Oh, no, it couldn't be Harry." Uh-oh. They're thinking, that can't be Harry.
Staff, please
and it looks
excuse
like
this interruption. Mrs. Campbell, if you could call the office. Thank you.
the family's getting ready to walk away and just leave him there. How do you think Harry is feeling right now? Sarah, what do you think Harry's feeling like right now?
He's feeling sad.
Maybe a little worried? Because if they don't recognize him, will they ever take him in? Harry gave up and walked slowly toward the gate. But suddenly, he stopped.
The rain. I see a
he ran to the corner of the garden and started to dig furiously. Show me digging furiously. He's really digging, isn't he? Eyes this way. Soon he jumped away from the hole, barking short, happy barks. He's trying to get their attention. What's he gonna do with that brush? What do you think?
Gonna give
Bob,
them
raise your
to-
hand. He's got the brush. Colin, what do you think he's
He's
thinking?
gonna wash himself.
You think he's gonna wash himself and then show his owners?
They're
Let's find
probably gonna wash
Let's
him.
find out.
I'll see.
He'd found the scrubbing brush and carrying it in his mouth, he ran into the house. Look at the surprise look on the family, because they don't think it's Harry. And here's this strange dog running in the house with a scrubbing brush. Up the stairs he dashed, with the family following close behind. I think he's gonna scrub himself clean. He jumped into the bathtub and sat up begging. He's begging with the scrubbing brush in his mouth. A trick he'd certainly never done before, because he didn't like to take a bath, did he?
No.
He'd never done this before. This little doggy wants a bath, cried the little girl. And her father said, why don't you and your brother give him one? They don't know it's Harry. They think this cute little dog just wants a bath. Harry's bath was the soapiest one he'd ever had. It worked like magic. As soon as the children started to scrub, they began shouting, Mommy, Daddy, look, look, come quick. Turn and talk to your partner about what First graders? What did you talk to your partner about? Abigail, Madeline, what'd you girls say? What's happening?
We said,
Mommy, Daddy, look, come quick.
it's Harry.
Help her out, Abigail. What'd you girls say?
It was Harry.
It was Harry. Is that what you're thinking, Madeline? It's Harry, it's Harry, it's Harry, they cried. Harry wagged his tail and was very, very happy. His family combed and brushed him lovingly, and he became once again a white dog with black spots. Thank
Daddy
goodness.
likes that.
Oh, it was wonderful to be home. After dinner, Harry fell asleep in his favorite place, happily dreaming of how much fun it had been getting dirty. He slept so soundly, he didn't even feel the scrubbing brush he'd hidden under his pillow. He had such a good sleep, so happy to be home, that he didn't even feel that little scrubbing brush under there.
Yeah, I saw it.
Now, let's
like
think about
this
this.
book.
Harry, at the beginning of the story, well, he didn't like baths. But at the end of the story, Ryan,
sad.
what happens to Harry at the end of the story?
They washed him off, and there was Harry.
So how does Harry feel about taking a bath at the end of the story?
Happy.
Do you think he's ever gonna run away again from a bath? No. I think he's so happy to be home with his family. Emma?
Know how some people say, why is there
Give me
two
this.
dogs?
Oh, yes.
Because he's dirty.
That answers our question. Who said that at the beginning? Was that Mariah? She says, I wonder why. Or
I know.
You guys
No,
were- you were thinking that? So it's not two dogs.
Me and her.
Looking at the cover, we think it's a story about two dogs. But after reading it now, we know. Tegan will be our last to share. Go ahead, Tegan.
Just like when I put my dog in the bathtub, he doesn't want to do it, but we have to put him in the bath, and we wash him, and every time he always shakes the water off.
So a little bit like Harry. Yeah, maybe you read this book to your dog. I don't know.
My dog does.
All right, boys and girls, we're going to take a little break right now and have our snacks. So on one, stand up.
Oh, both my dogs are there.
Eyes